first starting to get into combat sports, what did you envision? And could you have possibly envisioned what has, what you have worked out, what you have worked on for so long, and where you are in the position you're in right now in combat sports?
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of my dream manifested there, that I had that opportunity, and I guess it's been a long time coming. I must have saw Eddie Alvarez 20 years ago on TV. Maybe I said, he was like the first guy I saw fight, and I kept thinking of GSP facing Matt Hughes for the first time. Matt Hughes got him, and GSP tried to say, he was fighting his idol or whatever. Well, I didn't let that get to me, and I really had fun in there and had a banger of a fight. And, but people still there's always still someone's got to say, they can't let you have, I was speaking with the great Helwani yesterday, and he said something about it could be 99%, but we tend to focus on that 1%, so one bad comment or something. But I've been enjoying myself, and I try to block out all the negative noise.
And the only thing I'll say about that is, tell me anybody in this world, including myself, that hasn't had one bad comment, that hasn't had one bad whatever. And it's the people that just continue to move on, that you have to, look up to. I mean, we've all made mistakes. I think I made one. Have I made one, Matt?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, hiring you.
Not nice.
That was my biggest mistake.
So Mike, look, man, it was an honor to be there for your fight. Obviously, handing you the King of Violence billboard mat afterwards in the lobby. This question, obviously, everybody's asking you the same questions over and over again. So I'll try to come from a different angle. This fight, I actually brought my wife and my kids out. I know you had your wife and your kids there. Talk about that. I mean, as far as like the inclusion, because being in around a fight after a fight where there's tons of people there, do you ever get worried about their safety? I mean, does it distract you at all? Does it keep you from focusing on what you need to focus on? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think they were just fine. I had lots of family there with them, with me, and I brought the whole family out. And Eddie Alvarez is a big family man, and it was, yes, we can be mean and tough, but we kept that to each other. And, it was about family enjoying the show for what we do as men for them. And, I saw Eddie in the post-fight press conference room, and he had his arms around his kids, and I walked over to them, and I was like saying something, and I saw he had a little girl, and she looked a little upset. And I took my glasses off, and I looked at her, and I said, "Hey, your daddy got me pretty good too," and she smiled and everything. It's just, as a tough guy, the toughest out here, that means that you know how to change in between lines where the kids can feel good and safe, and then you can turn around and be man to man, and be as violent as entertainment can be. So to have my kids there and bring my son in the ring and hold him up and kiss my wife, and that's all part of that manifesting I was talking about. That's been years in the making for me to have these moments, and all the violent times I've had inside fighting, I earned that joy with my family, because that's, and everybody knows who I am, what I do, and it can be violent, but at the same time, it's just love of the sport. It is what I do for a living and how I pay my bills. So it's a confusing time with the entertaining aspect. You want to put on for the fans, but you also have to be honest with yourself and with your opponent.
Well, I want to say, just my comment on all that is, I think you soften the sport for the fans. You know, I think for those that think it's a barbaric sport, to bring the family in at the end, I think personally makes it relatable to the masses. And I think that's why you are the face of the BKFC, because you're making it appealing to all.
But Mike, before you answer, I want to just jump in. I don't think it necessarily softens the sport. What I think it does is take the sport back to what it's meant to be. It's a competition. You can like, you can dislike, but when the fight's over, it's back to you being a father, a husband, all that. And I didn't know that story, Mike, but I'll tell you what, I wish more people would know that about the sport, and more importantly, about you.
Yeah, it takes high level competition to not be so upset after the final bell, after things have been stated, and you know, in the earlier days of people's fighting careers, the losers and some might lose their mind in things, and they might try to do something or hurt someone that, you know, that they will regret later. It might take them out of the sport forever or something like that. Those things happen. Some people do lose control of their minds after, you know, getting hit in the head a few times. You know, CTE be real for some of these guys, but you know, I always keep my mind together. Eddie does the same. He's a professional, and you know, I was happy that you know, you don't want to be on that side of the losing side, and I'm sure he did good, so he thought he was going to win that thing, but you know, it is what it is, and also I wanted to say that there's children in Gaza who are going through much worse, and then, you know, just being at a fighting event with their parents, you know, it's a little bit worse in some parts of the world. So we're lucky and blessed.
No, for sure, absolutely. And that response that you just said, and I give Matt and a lot of people a hard time when they say, I went to war. You were in a fist fight. You know, MMA, combat sports is a fist fight. It's not war. Join the military, have bullets shot at you. That's war. This is different. It's a fist fight, it's a competition, but at the end, hopefully, you know, both are healthy enough, they can go home to their families and live another day. That's not always the case in a war.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes before, I feel you on that. Like, I don't really use the word war too much, but when it was right before the fight, my mind kind of went towards that, because I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew what I planned to go in the ring to do, and that was take some hits, to give some hits, and had that third round happen, we're talking scary stuff for all those involved, both sides, you know. So we're glad that everyone was healthy and able to go home with the family, and you know, yes, there are people who fight wars, real wars with bombs and life or death situations, and obviously that's a different side of it's
sure.
It's not a war. Sometimes I like to say battle, you know.
Right.
It's just a small battle in the bigger picture. So, you know, thank God that, you know, we have our health, and we made some wealth, and now it's Christmas time, and we got to go Christmas shopping and buy all the kids' toys.
Mike's a poet. We all didn't know it.
No, so Mike, and I like the way you shouted out GSP about being scared of heights and putting on his Christmas tree decorations, and so I like the way you throw jabs at people across the different spectrums. The latest jab, obviously, was at Jorge Masvidal. You're calling for him to be your next opponent. I see David's on board with making that happen. So, do you think that will be the next fight for you?
Is that a jab? Is that a jab, though? You know what I mean? Like, okay, I get that when, especially someone like that, some fighters, they take offense That's how you get your mind in the set of fighting. But at the same time, in all, like, in all the attention I'm receiving, this is my moment as, the king of violence, and everyone's so happy for me and my performance and this and that. And if I'm going to give attention to anyone or any other athlete or fighter, yeah, I want it to be a rough, tough, scary guy who might say some nasty things about me once I do it. Build their capabilities as to what they can do as an athlete. For the names that I called out, it's kind of an honor to face some of these guys, and I think I'm in the position of where it's an honor for them to face me as well, because everyone knows what I bring into the ring. There's no quit here, and I can always win a fight, no matter where the fight is at. It can be mine.
Mike, let me ask you this: what's it like? What's it feel like now that you're the chased? Everybody is chasing you. There's not. Yeah, you called out Jorge Masvidal, and hopefully that can happen. But it's very few out there for you to call out. It's everybody's trying to get the fight with you. What's that feeling like?
That's part of where I say, there's always a comment out there that someone's saying, some of these people, they're fans that they might have, but they don't have too many of them. I don't know. It's like their fans are trying to say things that sound negative towards me and what I'm doing, so they can try to get attention to this other athlete so that he might have a chance. And maybe the athlete is being honest with it, but some of the fans might not be being honest. It's like I'm always one step away from being the GOAT, and then once I get there, a lot of people just won't let me have it, and that's fine, but they're not gonna fight me for it. They're not gonna step up to me and do anything about it. And if I was in their face, and if they did say something negative, oh my gosh, please believe I would get in their face and let them know exactly how I felt. That's where you got to take social media for social media, and just block out all the white noise, and focus on the climbing path that you're on. Dang, I must be up here on top of Mount Everest right now.
Yeah, we'll talk to the dog next.
Yeah. Oh, you hear that, huh? Dang is always over there barking. Hey, be quiet over there. That's Eddie Alvarez. I told him I'd put him in the backyard and get him some water. So go lay down and be quiet. And be quiet, Eddie.
So what's the plans the next couple of weeks? What's Christmas going to be like at the Perry Mansion?
Man, I gotta go Christmas shopping, but I haven't been able to get off of my phone and stop talking to people. I gotta get out of the house, and then when we do get out of the house, we gotta take the two kids when we go, and then we gotta take the dog out to use the bathroom, and then I'm going to see the Devin Haney fight this weekend, and then I'm going to Las Vegas next weekend. Quite busy right now, man. So we gotta. I don't know. I'm gonna leave some space in my luggage, and then we'll try to pick up some gifts along the way. But I'll tell you what, my son is so bad. We tell him every day, like, you're not gonna get nothing for Christmas. I was like, you might get some clothes, dude. You might get clothes for Christmas because he's so bad. But I don't know. We'll get him something.
How old is he?
He'll be 3 in January.
I got a perfect thing that I'm going to send him. So you know how I always like to give, how I always like to give you some things, which obviously we're going to do the 8-man strong and the bucked up energy drink. But I have something for him as well that I'll put in the mail, and it's from you. It's from Santa. Take it. But I think you're going to like it. So it'll definitely be cool. how long until you're going to start getting that itch again? You know, the fight was just Saturday. You're going to have downtime. You're going to have Christmas. You're going to do all these responsibilities with the phone calls. But how soon until the itch is going to come and you know, you want to get back in there?
Well, I do want to get in the gym and lift some weights, pump some iron, eat some food, put some size on, and so that way, you know, I did cut a lot of weight and I looked really good, and like, you know, there's a possible movie offer out there if I'm looking good on camera and stuff, but like, I'd rather have the power belly and have the size where if I got to deal with people like a security guard, you know, people's security, personal security, is like they just move their belly through the crowd and people have to move out of the way because they're just so big and strong. So I got to get bigger and stronger because there's lots of people who they think they want to come for the king, and I'm going to have to stay ready to smack them all down, put them in their place, and that's what I'm going to do. So as soon as I get a little bit of downtime, I'm just going to hit the gym and go pump some iron.
I didn't ask David Feldman when he was on last week, and so I'm curious, is the King of Violence title, the belt, is that a one-off, kind of like what the UFC did, or next time you fight, is that being defended? How is that playing out?
Yeah, it's not like the President of the United States, you know, he's got 4 years, and then if he gets voted in again, he gets 4 more years, and we're all hoping for a candidate change this year, in my opinion. And but as the King of Violence, like that's I'm here to stay, and you know, I don't think anybody's gonna be getting another shot because who else is as violent as Platinum Mike Perry when they get in the ring? And you got to be both sides. You got to have adversity and pull through and you know, hold your head high the whole time. So you know, if it's the right fight, you know, maybe another type of king, a BMF possibility, you know, or something like that. But I'm really happy with the belt. I'm really you know, with the title, with the name that comes with it, and I think I earned it over the last 20 years of being a fighter. And so, you know, we'll see where it goes. I'm not going to make any guesses, but I know lots of people are going to try to come for the king, and you know, I need a private army to protect and watch my back as well, because they know I'd get their back. I'd watch their back in a heartbeat. I'd be the first one on the front line. That's the thing about an army, you know what I mean? Some people, celebrity might hide behind that, but me, I would be front line. I'd be the first one running into the fire. So
no, absolutely, and I'll bring it real quickly to the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, their captain, Steven Stamkos. You know, typically in the NHL, you have a goon. You have somebody that goes and sticks up for your superstar. And Steven Stamkos took over that team of the Tampa Bay Lightning when he started fighting. You know, he's like, I don't need people protecting me. You know, I'm the leader of this team. I'm going to go out there and fight. Yeah. And yeah, that's definitely a Mike Perry. Two names that kind of got mentioned because they were there at the press conference. Louis Palomino made some comments before, I think it was, and then Dave Mundell made some after. Any thoughts on either one of those two?
Yeah, my thoughts are like, you know, how you guys gonna say? Listen, Palomino was already scheduled to the day after the fight. He's got a fight, so it's like, you want me to say what? I'll fight you right here, right now, at the press conference after I just fought, or you know, you want me to talk the fight up for you? You want me to give you attention? You know, I like Palomino, but I can't name one opponent he's fought in bare knuckle. And out of his 9 title defenses, why his title defense is real, but I can't name one of the guys that he fought. And which one that he fought was the champion when he fought them? No, he was right? He hasn't fought another champion. I've been beating multiple time and organization world champions. They were in different organizations when they were champions, but they were in the organizations that everyone knows, and they were names that everyone knows to be good, and I beat them. So, and as far as Mundell, I smashed him twice. Yes, maybe it was a different sport, but like, come on, man. These guys are maybe Palomino's a little closer than Mundell, but I said on Helwani, if I wanted to try for a belt, I wanted to try for the 185-pound belt. So those guys are what, 165, 155, and 175. So, listen, if the name came through on the contract, I'd be happy to do it. I'm not going to make the fight for them, for those guys. I'm not going to call their shots for them. They're obviously not calling their shots properly or correctly. And, Palomino's finally got a fighter that he's facing a boxer, an actual boxer, but like I can't even think of his name right now. So,
I got you.
These guys, man, I'd be happy to do it. You want David Feldman? Why is no one asking David Feldman questions? Why do they ask me these questions? You know what I mean? So tell David Feldman to put the name on the contract, and I'd be happy to fight him.
Easy enough. There you go. Mike, as always, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the next couple of weeks. I'll see you in Vegas next week. I will be out there, so we will catch up. I think Matt has something else, but real quickly, we're going to send you some more 8-Man Strong. We're going to send you some more Bucked Up energy drink, and then we're going to send, I'm going to send a little gift for your son as well.
I really appreciate it.
Hey, Mike,
Randy, thank you.
So I just want to say this last second, I know your wife is a part of this as much as you are. She's in the corner. She gets all the attention like you. I was in her cheering section for your fight. I promised Dakota I would shout her out on the radio when we talked to you today. So Latori has huge fans as well as you, and they all came from Texas to support you in Salt Lake City. So congrats, champ, King of Violence, Mike Perry, and the entire Perry family. Merry Christmas.
I'll talk to you next week, Mike.
Thank you so much, man. Merry Christmas, guys. Shout out Knockout Radio.